Hello, Happy New Year. This is Kelly with Kelly's Coffee and Movie Chat. We are January 1st, 2025, and I am ready to do my movie podcast. I started this on YouTube, and there are some done on YouTube, but I cannot figure out how to. I don't have an app that will extract my audio and go directly into here, so I'm going to go ahead and focus just on this podcast instead of the YouTube version of this. I do still have Kelly's Coffee and Crime Chat. I have been sick, but I'm going to start talking a little. I just don't want to keep clearing my throat or coughing. So this is my first one. Last night was New Year's Eve, which we stayed home because I was still getting over this. And we watched 2 movies. One of them I am going to review right now for episode 1. The movie If you have not seen If, it is one that I'm just going to tell you right now, check it out and let me know what you think. I'm going to talk about it here in a minute, but I'm not going to give anything away. If is a 2024 movie, and I have seen the name of it, but I didn't know what it was about. It stars Ryan Reynolds and John Krasinski. There's a little girl in it named Kaylee Fleming. And it's got a lot of famous voices in it. Now, in the movie, John Krasinski he's the one from The Office and A Quiet Place, among many other films. And he is Kaylee Fleming's father. And he's in the hospital going to have heart surgery. So she's staying with her grandmother. And her grandmother lives in this really cool apartment in New York. And it's one of those, it's got like the big spiral staircase. I thought it was like a mansion on the inside, but it's actually an apartment. So her name is Bee, and she's 12 years old. Excuse me. Sorry, excuse me. I had my Java Mama earlier today, which was red, white, and blue. I'm just now getting back into drinking coffee. But right now I am not drinking coffee. I'm drinking Celsius. So Bee just happens to see a guy who is Ryan Reynolds walking around with this like weird creature. And she sees this, and they're like, you got to kind of suspend disbelief in it, or you know what I mean? Because this little girl's in New York and she's walking around outside, and we're like, why is this little girl outside in New York at night? But anyway, aside from that, she sees Ryan Reynolds with a couple of weird looking creatures breaking into some kid's bedroom. It's like, what is going on? They're trying to get into this apartment building. Well, she ends up seeing them, of course, and they see her. So they start, she ends up passing out because these creatures are very funny. One is like a really big, huge purple guy. And another one is this just little, like, at first I thought it reminded me of Mickey Mouse, but it's a female who has, like, I don't know what you call it, what you kind of call these creatures. There's all different ones. What this is, one of the apartments in her grandmother's apartment is where they're staying. And Ryan Reynolds explains to her that when people grow up, you forget about your imaginary friends. Your imaginary friends just disappear. Well, where do they go? Right? They all gather together in this area. I know it sounds strange. This sounds very strange, but just bear with me a minute. They all get together and try to find a child they can be matched with. And they want to kind of, quote unquote, hire this little girl to help them find a child. And that's why they were breaking into that girl's bedroom. And the little girl thought, what is going on here? What is going on in my bedroom? You know, she didn't see anything, but she heard the noises. And that's the thing, I don't even know if you hear the noises. Now I'm trying to think. But anyway, excuse me. So there's this little boy in the hospital, the same hospital where her father's having his heart surgery. It's also the same hospital where her mother died of cancer years before. And this guy, this little kid, she tries to bring in all of the different characters, and these characters are all imaginary friends, and that's what IF stands for, which is if. So she brings him in, tried to say, can you see him? Can you see him? You know, and he's like, no, I don't see him. Well, then they're getting upset because they need to find a kid or they're just going to be forgotten. And this is a tearjerker. It's got a serious side And it really brought me back to my childhood thinking. I know I had a childhood friend, but I don't think it had like there was nothing like visual about it because it's imaginary. And then I got to thinking, if I had an imaginary friend today, it would be a big giant piece of popcorn with eyeballs and a mouth so it can talk to me. And I could smell that nice buttery smell to it, and it can wrap its arms around me and comfort me. Because I'm addicted to popcorn and I can't eat it anymore. But anyway, I thought, wouldn't this be cool? So that is what I got out of this movie. And it really takes you back to your childhood. And that's what I liked about it. I am not going to give up any spoilers, because there's spoilers at the end about what all this is. And it's very interesting. There's a lot of famous voices. Steve Carell, Lou Gossett Jr., George Clooney, Matt Damon. Supposedly Brad Pitt's in there, but I don't want to give that away. That's kind of funny. But there's a lot of famous voices. Amy Schumer's in there. Blake Lively, Maya Rudolph. So check this one out. I think you would really enjoy it. It's one of those, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. It's just, you don't have it. It's not just for kids. It's also for adults. But when I first started watching it, I'm like, what in the world is this going to be? But if you're watching it with one of your kids or grandkids, it would be easier for you to stay with it, I think. I was okay staying with it because it was New Year's Eve and we're checking out a new movie and I'm trying to get over this sickness. And it was something that took me out of that. This movie took me out of me being sick into my childhood, into the things that, because these imaginary friends are paired to the kids that need them. Like, for example, if you're upset, let's say your parents are divorced, like me. My parents were divorced and I really didn't like being split into two households. And you have a childhood friend to help that with you. That would be their purpose. So all of the imaginary friends had its own purpose to itself, had its own personality. So she was pairing them. I mean, like I said, it's a really nice movie. So check this out, especially on a night where there's nothing else to do and you just want to like escape your adulting, your whatever problems are going on, and you just want to watch this movie because it is very, very good. It's actually very well done for a movie like this. I've never seen a movie like this. I know when you get older, you do forget about things. It kind of makes you think of like Peter Pan or even Toy Story. You know, you do forget about things. You don't play with your toys anymore. You don't have your imaginary friends. But check this one out. It is a very good movie. I think it's just PG. There's nothing like wrong in it or bad in it. Let's see. I'm trying to see if there is anything. No, there's nothing wrong with it. I was trying to see if there's a rating. I'm looking to see if there's a rating on it. And I'm pretty sure there's a rating. I'm sure it's probably just PG if there is. But it is a very good one. It was released May earlier this year. It is 104 minutes, not very long. It is directed and written by John Krasinski, and he also plays not only her father, he also plays the marshmallow on fire, which is the one of the imaginary friends. So let me know what you think of this movie. If you see it, you can respond right here in Spotify, or you can also get me on, if you're a Patreon subscriber, you know my email. I'll list everything in the show notes, my email, everything. So let me know what you think of this. And I will see you for episode 2 coming up here pretty soon. See you next time.